Occasionally, during a period of rising real estate prices, a seller broker and their agent receive an offer from a prospective buyer at the full asking price on substantially the same terms for payment called for in the seller representation agreement. The agent reviews the full asking price offer with their seller client. However, the seller rejects the offer, despite the fact it meets all the terms for earning a fee under the seller representation agreement. Recall that rejection occurs when the seller refuses to accept the offer or counters the offer by seeking a higher price or better sales terms. But let's get back to our scenario. The seller believes the property is worth more than the price offered. Thus, the seller instructs their agent to prepare a counteroffer at a higher price, which the agent does and the seller signs. The counteroffer is submitted to the prospective buyer. The buyer is displeased and flatly rejects the counter, terminating negotiations. The broker makes a demand on the seller for payment of a fee as earned by producing a buyer who was ready, willing, and able to pay the asking price on terms set in the seller representation agreement. However, the seller refuses to pay the broker fee. The seller claims a fee was not earned since the counteroffer was rejected and a sale of the property did not occur. Did the broker earn a fee? Yes, the broker earned a fee since the broker or one of their agents located a qualified, able buyer to purchase the property who signed an offer, ready and willing, on the terms of sale stated in the representation agreement, and submitted a copy of the buyer's written offer and reviewed it with the seller. This is the case whether the broker is employed under either an exclusive or open seller representation agreement. The fact the seller rejected the offer by making a counteroffer the buyer rejected has no effect on the broker's right to a fee under the representation agreement. The fee was earned on presentation of the buyer's purchase agreement offer, which met the seller's asking price and terms for payment established in the representation agreement. But before we move on, further clarification is needed to properly conclude the story. Before the broker earns a fee for obtaining and submitting a full asking price offer, the broker needs evidence that the buyer is legally and financially capable of closing the escrow on the purchase agreement offer. Specifically, the buyer needs to show evidence of their financial capability as a cash buyer or with approved mortgage financing. They also need to be of sound mind, at least 18 years of age, and possess their civil rights to enter a contract. Again, the prospective buyer making the offer needs to be ready, willing, and able to perform for the broker to earn a fee. Specifically, the broker needs to evidence the buyer intended to enter into a binding purchase agreement with the seller by making an offer to buy. They're ready. Made an offer on substantially the same terms as the terms sought in the seller representation agreement. Willing and legally and financially qualified to perform, close the escrow on the offer. Able. Again, once the seller, broker, or their agents submit a full asking price offer to the seller, signed by a buyer who meets each of the ready, willing, and able criteria, the broker has earned their fee. That is the catalyst triggering payment of the fee. However, when a buyer offers to purchase the property on terms other than those sought in the seller representation agreement, the offer is treated differently. In this instance, the seller needs to accept the buyer's dissimilar offer for the broker to earn their fee.